Hey guys, this is Tara with Teaching on Lemon Lane with a quick video tutorial of how you can digitally disguise a turkey. So before we get started, if you're using a planning page, in order to use this, you simply need to single click where you would like to type, and then you can start typing. As you go through this, you'll list and brainstorm different ideas of what you could disguise your turkey, type your favorite one there, consider what shapes you might need to use to build that disguise, what colors or materials or fabrics, what would be a cool setting or background for your turkey to hide out in that disguise, and if you think it will work or not. The Google search word bank, we're going to come back to this, but let's go ahead and jump into the turkey templates. The turkey template that I'm going to be using today for this example is the one that uses both shapes and picture placeholders. I'm going to zoom out so you can see what I'm talking about. So depending on what your teacher has assigned, you're either going to be looking at all picture placeholders, all shapes, or this one right here where you can see all of them. So we've got everything to pick from. So I'll zoom out so we can see. So essentially what we're going to be doing is we are going to be building a disguise using these shapes you see here and placeholders, as well as these fun accessories. Now, I think it would be fun to do a scarecrow, so that's what we're going to be doing today. And to build the scarecrow, I'm going to go ahead and start with a picture placeholder. Now, to use a picture placeholder, I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. All of the picture placeholders, you can tell what they are by this pattern here. So if a shape has this pattern on it, it is a picture placeholder. So to use, I'm going to single click, click and hold, and then I drag the shape where I want it. And then once I've placed the shape where I want it, I release or let go of the mouse click, and it will place it there. Now, the cool thing about a picture placeholder is that notice when I click on it, look up here, replace image isn't there. When I click on my picture placeholder, replace image comes up here in my toolbox. So this allows me to insert pictures from a Google search. So we're going to click on replace image and then search the web. And now remember, we're doing a scarecrow. So I'm going to look up plaid fabric. Now I'm using the word fabric instead of just plaid to better my search results. That's one of the keywords that I've included. I think this is a great option, so I double click on the option that I want, or I single click and then I would click replace. But what's going to happen is that it's automatically going to put it in that picture placeholder there for me. So now that I've placed that there, I'm going to go ahead and try and create some overalls. And I think this could be fun for overalls, this picture placeholder here. So I single click and I drag, and I'm going to put them down here like this. When I place it where I want it, I let go. Now again, to use the picture placeholder, I single click, come up here to replace image, search the web, and now I'm going to search for denim fabric. Again, by using the word fabric, that's one of those search terms that's going to give me a better result. When I find the one I want, I can single click and then click replace, or double click and it's automatically going to insert it in there. Let's go back and look at that word search bank. So you'll notice I've included some keywords that will help you as you use your Google search to come up with a better search result. So as you're searching these different types of looks or fabrics or textures, make sure that you're using terms like fabric or background or pattern or design in order to get a better search result. Let's go back to our turkey and keep creating. So now that I've got that, I'm going to see if I can create some overall straps. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out and see if there's a picture placeholder that would allow me to create a strap. I see this one here. I'm going to single click on it and I'm going to drag it over. And now this seems like it's more of a belt, but I want to create an overall strap. So the way that I'm going to do that, I'm going to zoom in. And the way that I rotate a shape or a picture placeholder is when I click on it, notice this blue circle. I single click on the blue circle and then I use my mouse, or if I'm using a Chromebook, I hold and I drag and rotate it. And now I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller. So I can either click on the corner and hold and zoom in, or I can even double click. And when I double click, it gives me my crop option and I can crop or make it shorter. I'm actually going to zoom in so that you can see this, because this actually just shortened the image. I want to crop the whole shape. So I'm going to grab from the bottom and make sure it moves the whole shape up. That way I've cropped that shape. Single click, drag, place it where I want it. Now I need one more. So what I can do is I can single click on that, and then I can come up here and go edit, copy, edit again, and paste. Or Control V or Command V, depending on what type of device you're using. So I make a copy of my straps, and again, I need to turn those into denim. So I click on the picture placeholder, replace image, search the web. There's my denim. I double click, I insert it in, and now I've created overalls. Next, I'm going to show you how to use the shapes. So the shapes are different than the picture placeholder. All of the shapes are going to be this dark green teal color. So notice when I click on it, replace image isn't an option, and that's simply because it is a shape. When I click on picture placeholder, replace image is an option. So I want to add some buttons or some sort of detail to my overalls. So I'm looking through my different shapes to see what I can use. I'm going to use the little X. So I single click and I drag it over. And if you're zoomed out, this will be a little bit easier. To zoom out, you would simply come up to your magnifying glass, click down, and you can either zoom out or zoom in. But now that I've got my X, I'm going to bring it over again. And again, this is just a shape. So I'm going to place it right here, kind of like a button. And I need one more, so I can do Command Copy, Command V to create a duplicate. And I'll place it there. Now I want this to be maybe a gold color. So I'm going to click on my shape. And now to change the color, I'm going to come up here to the paint bucket. And I can click on any of these colors that are available right here. Another option, I can create a custom color. And I can use the different drag and drop for the hues and the transparency. Transparency means if it's all the way this side, it means you can't see through it. If it's all the way here, it means it's completely see-through, or in the middle, it would just be you can kind of see through it. I don't want it to be see-through, so I'm going to keep it over here, and I could click OK. Another fun thing to do with shapes is to create a gradient. So I'm going to click on the fill color. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to click gradient, and I want to try and make it look like a shiny metal. And already here they have a grade option for me, but if I wanted to create my own custom gradient, I could also do that. So I would come up here to fill color, which is the paint bucket, gradient, and then I'm going to come over here to custom, and I would click the plus, and now I might add a couple different gradient stops, and every gradient stop that I add is another color that can be added into it. So maybe I want it to start really dark, and then as we move in, it'll just get lighter and lighter. Now I can either make that a radial gradient or a linear one. And once I have the look that I want, I would simply just click OK. Now the gradient stops are fun because you can do some really cool looks. So for example, I could do really bright colors, and you can do this on the full shapes of these options here. I'm just using the shapes for my button, so I'm going to go with that kind of metallic look that I've created. I'm going to add it to the other option, the other X as well, and now I need to add shoes. The best shoe options are going to be down here, and I'm just going to single click and drag, and then I let go and I have it where I want it, single click and drag, and now I'm going to change the color of these, and again I can do that because they are shapes. So I come up here and I go single click, paint bucket, and we'll go with like an orange. And this one, you're actually going to want to grab the shoe that's below it. So see how this one's on this side? Grab this shoe or a shoe from this side because that's going to fit that foot better. And then I come up to my paint color and I can change the color on it. So this is looking great. Next thing I'm going to look at are the different accessories that are available. So if we come over here, I can see kind of some fun options that will help me complete kind of the scarecrow look. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to single click and drag, and I'm going to add some hair, and I'm going to let go of it when I have it where I want it. And I think a hat would be fun too. I've got a cowboy hat or a straw hat. I'm going to go with the straw hat. So I single click and I drag. Now notice If by chance, let's say that the hair was in front, I'll show you what that would look like, of the hat, and it didn't look quite right. Don't send your hair all the way to the back. So if I said send to back, when you go and put your, notice it's behind the turkey, and when we add our background, it's going to completely hide it. So never arrange a layer all the way to the back. Instead, bring things to the front. So we'll say that the hair was in front of the hat. So I'll bring it to front so you can see what that would look like. So in order to fix that, you simply need to click on the hat and bring the hat all the way to the front. So what we are essentially doing is just moving layers around. And that's kind of what makes this activity a little bit magical, is the different layers. So I'm happy with my scarecrow. Now I'm going to add a background. To add a background, we click up here on this button, and then we find our replace image, search the web. Now I'm going to think of a setting or a background that I could add that would be a great place for a scarecrow to hide. So I'm going to go ahead and search corn-filled background. I'm adding background to give me a better result. And I go ahead and search that, and I've got some awesome options. When I see the option that I want, I go ahead and I double click, or I single click and hit replace image, and it's automatically going to insert my cornfield there. Now I can type my name here, and if I want to save this, what I would do is I would come up here and I would go File, Download, and then I'm going to download it as an image. So a JPEG or a PNG, you could even save it as a PDF if you wanted to, but this allows you to kind of save and share or even submit. Now, if your teacher or if you are wanting to print this, but you don't want to have this full color black background because it takes up so much ink, what you're going to do is you would click where that button was, or in that top corner, and instead of doing a full color background, what we would do is we would just search the web, and instead of cornfield, we're just going to put white background. And that's going to give us a much more printer-friendly option. So again, see how it just inserted that white background? It covered up our button. And then I could print this and display it with my essay on a bulletin board, or I could even color in the background and add the cornfield myself as an art project. We could even cut it out and kind of mount it on top of a construction paper. But the way that we would print this is we would make sure we're on the slide that we want, and then we would go File, and then we would come down here to Print. And you're only going to want to print the selected slide, not the entire slide. Let's check out one more thing while we're looking at this. You may also have a graphic organizer for a narrative story or a persuasive essay. In order to use these, you simply click where you would like to type and just start typing. There's a revisions and a draft page. Again, you simply click where you would like to start typing. And lastly, my favorite is the rate and reflect. In order to use the digital rate and reflect, you'll notice this little highlighter here. You can go ahead and place it to show your effort. And these questions may be different than the ones that you are seeing that have been assigned to you, but you simply just single click, drag and hold, and then you will respond by clicking and typing. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I can't wait to see the different turkeys that you guys come up with. Thanks so much, guys.